The kingdom of Rhourn is an untamed landscape of hills and overgrown plains. Sparsely settled and mostly abandoned, the region is wild with a few surviving roads and a wilderness left unexplored. The few cities that do exist are old, dilapidated, and in ruin, as most of the locals have long since left the area to live in Lustria or Noria. There's also little central government and virtually no town guard, leaving the sparse settlements on the edge of the border in no man's land. However, despite Rhourn being a wild frontier, merchants have taken over the region, turning the few outposts and towns into gambling dens. Like a medieval Las Vegas, they profit from passing adventurers exploring the wilds or raiding the goblin lands, and buy or sell trinkets found in the elven ruins or pilfered from hostile hobgoblin tribes. Because the margins for profit are so slim and the region so dangerous, merchants try to hold monopoly on the goods coming into Rhourn. They chase out competition, and with the lack of law in the region, will even resort to violence to rid themselves of rivals. This lack of law also invites bandits and thief guilds to use Rhourn as a refuge, hiding from justice and robbing many of the inexperienced adventurers who come back from plundering the wilderness. Some even being so bold as to sell the stolen goods in black markets of other countries. Since less well-to-do merchants and adventurers have grown sick of the thievery, many donate or pay for security in the few small outposts of the region. This gives travelers a safe place to stay before moving on, and together have formed the Guild of Order, a policing force who patrols the outposts and protects travelers on the road. Led by a few paladins, the followers of Gianna, the goddess of order and law, they wear books of codexes around their necks and act as judge, jury, and executioner of the region. She is often depicted as a knight, wielding the codex of law and the sword of justice, and she encourages her followers to hunt criminals and restore order to any chaotic region. Despite the collapse of society, there is a queen of Rhourn, though her power does not extend beyond the capital of Ralathar. There is virtually no taxes and no military, her own personal guard made up of members of the Guild of Order and the Paladins of Gianna. She does place lords over some of the remaining settlements, but most are puppets, with local merchants calling the shots. Further north, where the roads truly choke into overgrowth, there's a series of quarries and bandit camps. The bandits often abduct travelers on the road, forcing them to work as miners and slaves and selling the mined resources in markets in Lustria and Noria, or, if the ability permits, across the Black Mountains into the western human kingdoms. With little law to reach them, few can free the slaves, and a black market for miners has grown across the region. Gianna paladins do try to eliminate the bandits and free the slaves, but lack the numbers and ability to fully confront the growing confederation of thief and bandit guilds inhabiting the northern wilds, and thus the problem remains. With the region poor and the outposts near destitute, few come this way, except for adventurers or a daring tavern keep desperate to make a few coin, as people always need a beer and a bed, no matter how dirty. Most agree that if the goblins and hobgoblins were ever to unite, Rhourn would fall, and the eastern kingdoms would collapse. For more information on bandit groups of Rhourn, please refer to the Thief Guild Codex in the Exemplia Library.